Right.
Go on then.
Good morning, I'm Pete Richardson, also known as Rantin Richie. I'm 53 years old and I'm a poet.
Right, I'll ask you these questions about Art LA. Which artwork in Art LA did you find the most interesting and why?
I couldn't really pick out one in particular, but just the general feel of the whole exhibition. I really liked it, including the sculptures as well. I suppose if I had to narrow one down, there was like an iconic picture of Lower School, which kind of represented what the whole exhibition was about. That really struck me.
All right, thank you. What do you believe that Art LA represents, and is it at all ambiguous?
I was thinking about this last night actually. I don't know what it represents to you, Caroline, as the artist, but to me, I think a lot of people probably relate to it because of the subject matter and the way you've done a lot of the artwork in monotone. It's like finding an item of ephemera what's been burnt, you know, a picture from the 1940s or something. So you know immediately when you're looking at the piece of artwork, it's captured a moment in time, but because there's a lot of brown and blacks involved, it's as if that was time past, this is where we're at now, but the image you're looking at takes you right back there. And the same as the sculptures as well, the bricks, I thought that was absolutely brilliant, because the exhibition is about, a lot of it is about a building, Lower School, and then to include bricks in it, that could literally be bricks as part of the building. I thought that was absolutely genius, you know.
All right, thank you. Yeah, a lot of people like the bricks and the burnt edges of it. I did that because I wanted nature to like say about time and everything, but because of the momentum of the work, I had to like do it myself because I didn't have time for it to go like all old and everything. Do you have any thoughts about the methods used to create the work of Art LA?
Yeah, I do actually. I was watching a programme last night about Christian artwork, and a lot of them, a couple of 100 years ago, they used lots and lots of gold. But when you first looked at them from a distance, they looked kind of browny and dirty. And what they used to do, they used to go to churches with candles and put the candles right close to the artwork, illuminating it. But the thing you've done is kind of in reverse, really.
Yeah, like inverted that theory, haven't I? Yeah.
And I think that's absolutely brilliant. You know, if you held a candle up to some of these, it'd probably be exactly the same. And I would like to think that's exactly what you're going for, because as I said, it's like if you found a burnt newspaper from 1963, so, 1963, that's when my auntie such and such got married, or, you know, I remember a million different things, you know, just the images being dark and monotone, you know, as you say. It's just captured that. They could be from 1800s or 1600s, you know, but this is from sort of the 70s.
So the time's ambiguous, isn't it? Yeah. I'd think about using gold in your work, actually, now that you've said that. It's a useful bit of information. What do you feel this exhibition represents in a socio-historical context?
Good question. For me personally, being a Richmond lad, you know, I wander around town a lot and people say Richmond never changes. It does change. Even in the marketplace, shops have disappeared, whereas we as Richmond people, you know, I remember when such and such, that used to be Stablers, blah, blah, blah. And you've captured probably one of the most beautiful buildings in Richmond, which is no longer used for the purpose it was originally designed for. and I'm hoping next year someone's going to take it over.
I think they are, yeah, there's lottery bids.
Which I might be involved with myself, doing my poetry in there. And I'd absolutely love to see that, you know, because it's such a beautiful building. And I'll be honest, you know, when I found out about your exhibition and what the subject matter was, I thought that is absolutely brilliant. I'm so glad someone's seen the beauty in this building, and just, you've done it for all different memories what you had there, and a lot of people, Richmond people, have got a lot of memories.
Did you go to that school?
Yeah, I did, yeah. I done, in fact, that picture over there, that used to be my, I don't know the title, the third one down. The Vision.
That's the second one in?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of people like that one, don't they? A lot of people. So. Yeah, that was the old dining hall. So, yeah. All right. Where are we? Right, you've seen Richmond Lower School, haven't you?
Yeah.
So do you think Art Alley represents it?
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's, you know, to have this exhibition here was great, you know, because we're in another great iconic Richmond building. But it'd be absolutely fantastic if this artwork was like out in the street, you know, so people just passing by, if they were on like little plinths, or down the bats, or on, you know, near Lower School. It'd be great, you know, but you can only work within constraints. Probably.
Well, I asked for it to be in the school, but because of health and safety and all that, said I wasn't safe enough to be in there, but that was probably...
Or even Richmond School, that'd be brilliant, you know. Like,
yeah, because it's specific, isn't it? And it goes with the narrative, and a lot of the students would be able to see it that wouldn't have normally seen it, because now the encore of students that have been in, my son's just left the school and he's never been to Lower School, so there's nobody to tell the younger students, apart from the teachers, which probably won't.
Yeah, I had to go to Richmond School a couple of years ago to borrow some ties of them, and when you first go in reception, they've got that old table, you know what's got on with it. Like, and this would just tie in lovely with it, to be honest.
And use it for the advertising as well. Yeah. From seeing the work in for sale in the catalogue, do you believe the correct work was exhibited, and why?
I can't really answer that. I mean, for the simple reason, I love art, and if I'm doing anything sort of arty myself to do my poetry, I take ages and ages over it, and what some people hate, I probably love, and vice versa. And I think that question should probably just apply to you. You know, were you happy?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because I wanted a variety, and then there were certain people that absolutely, there was like, say, I asked people what they liked, and collectively what people liked, I put up, and also what I liked as well, so I use that artistic license as well as what other people liked.
What I'm saying, Caroline, if I had your work, even as this room, the work you've got in now, I'd probably have it like that one day, and then I'd come in the next day, and I'd think, it might be better rearranged, you know, so...
Yeah, that'd be an idea. Yeah, probably, yeah.
I'm sure everyone's not like that, but it's just me.
No, no, it's a good idea to change things around. So, right, I've said, how do you feel about the positioning and grouping of the work, but you've answered that, haven't you, by saying that you'd probably...
well, I'll tell you how I feel. In a way, I feel a bit frustrated because we're in a really small space. And I know it's not a large volume of work.
I had to exclude about 30% of it to put it in here. So it's...
But even so, I mean, you know, I've been in galleries before, even the size of some of these pictures, if you had one on one, if we if we had the luxury of having that much space, like one picture on one wall, so you're just drawn to it like that, and then go to the next one, I think that's much more dramatic. But we're in a really small building, really. Well, it's a large building with small rooms.
And you've got to have breathing space, haven't you? Yeah. Do you feel that the work adhered to historic context that it strives to represent?
Definitely. Yeah. Definitely. For reasons I said before, it just puts you in a particular time and place. When I was thinking about this last night, what I was going to say, there used to be a programme in the 70s, The World at War, and they always finished with some dramatic images, you know, some war-torn city, Budapest or something like that, in flames, but it was just an image like that. And immediately you felt extremely sad, but you knew that was roughly 1943 or 1942 or something, and it's just placing it in an exact time. And yours do that, you know. Yours, you can look at them and you think, that's sort of like 1970s Richmond, 1970s Britain, you know,
like frozen in time.
Frozen in time, yeah. And that's valid. We all, whatever we do, you know, I do poetry, you do art, and after we're dead, everyone wants to leave a footprint, you know, and what you've done, you can't believe how well, for me personally, how vitally important it is, because you're leaving like a footprint, you know. Someone could find that in 1,000 years' time.
Yeah, that's right.
Absolutely brilliant, you know, so well done.
Yeah.
And that's what you're doing.
It's like with your work as well, the written words probably more important than some.
Well, yeah, you know, I mean, look at the Bible. People are still talking about that, whether you believe it or not, or the Magna Carta, or stuff like that. You know, it's just a set of words, but they're so powerful. Yeah. You know, Kennedy's speech in '63, most people remember that. You know, it's a set of written words, but it's ingrained in history. You know, and that's what art does as well.
Definitely. Was the Georgian Theatre, do you think, an ideal venue for this type of work?
No.
No.
And I don't mean that it's lovely them to do that, and I like any place at all, whether it's a shop, an art gallery, an empty space where I put something on. But because of the visual you know, projection of your artwork, which is sort of browns and blacks, it's pretty dark. I'd probably like to see it in the caves or something down round out, you know, with some candlelit stuff or something like that.
That would be an amazing idea, yeah, definitely,
like
yeah.
That, you know. Or in the old tin mines up Swale there, and that, you know, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah, it'd be lovely even to put up there to film, yeah. Yeah, it'd be good. What do you feel about the pricing? Do you feel it's appropriate?
If it's appropriate to you, it's appropriate. I mean, how can you... It's such a... That is a really hard question for me, you know. I mean, I've never really sold my poetry, but I sold one poem once up at Tan Hill, what these bikers bought for 37 quid. And I was absolutely shocked. I thought, like, that'll keep me going in food for a week. Is it worth it? I don't know. That's up to whoever's... If someone buys it, you know, you could have a piece of artwork here on offer for £10, and someone might say to you, Caroline, I'm going to give you £35,000, I really love it. It's what it means to them. You know? And then also at the same time, if they want to give you 10 pence, you might think, actually, it's worth £200.
Yeah.
You know, so it's subjective. Were you happy with the pricing?
Yeah, what I don't sell though I might reduce, just to like make some more money back, so
okay.
Yeah. What are your views regarding the titles of the artwork?
I wasn't really big on titles, you know. I was in for X amount of time, and I know it's like, I remember someone saying about selling old records, you know, when people used to buy records. The title of an album is just like a handle and I suppose that applies to what you do and what I do, you know. I write a poem and like, I'm like that racking my brains thinking of a title and I think, is it that important, you know? And I don't think it is that important. So, were you happy with the titles?
Yeah, a lot of them were personal, like, you know, Dutton.
Okay.
It was
yeah, actually I know it's that one, yeah.
Because I thought, I did a piece and I thought, wow, that's quite creative and it's flamboyant, and that's what he was. He bought a piece of my friend's artwork and he was really into artwork, and then there was a piece called Tate, and as you know, Tate was like an academic and he was really into, I think there was about 30% of his students went to Oxford or Cambridge, so I thought, because there was lots of words and text on the actual picture.
Having said that, I mean, even the type of the exhibition, you know, LA, so I thought that was brilliant.
Yeah.
I've got a mate in London, Andy O'Connell, who's a photographer. He goes all over, only doing stuff. But yeah, he's big on titles, and especially if he can relate something. He's a native of Wigan. You know, if he can get Lancashire or something in the title. I remember, you know, he went to the Antarctica to do some photos for Bjork, and he was trying to give like some of the titles like Lancastrian names and all that, you know, which I thought was absolutely genius.
Yeah, they are, aren't they? Because you've got to have something that draws it in, but also something that's personal to you, haven't you?
Yeah, exactly. But LA, yeah, that was a great title, and as you said, Dutton and stuff like that, yeah, brilliant.
I thought
well
two
done.
big pieces, I thought two big presences, and I thought, well, the people that aren't here anymore, and then there were students that have been here that were big presences, but they might not be well known to as many people as Mr. Dutton, because he was, wasn't he?
Yeah, exactly.
Like his, yeah. Right. Do you prefer the bricks, the coloured work, or the monotone work?
I'm hesitating here. I'd say generally, I like, you know, I like what I'm looking at, but if I was trying to describe your exhibition and what you've done to someone, the bricks has got everything, you know. Gone back to one of your earlier questions, it's placing you at a certain point in time. The bricks literally could be part of the building, you know, which is your subject matter, and it, in a lovely way, it kind of encapsulates everything, you know. It'd be like if we come to a cooking exhibition and like, these are the strawberries, what I use, locally sourced, this was the flour, blah, 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 and then here, you've got the actual cake, so it's just got everything, so the bricks and the images.
Like
and
part of the ingredients.
It's got everything in it, yeah, so I suppose, the bricks, the sculpture.
Because they are from Richmond, and I thought they existed in Richmond when the school was open, like, because some are from Richmond House, which was built, I don't know, it was a workhouse, it was probably built well over 100 years ago. Then there was the bus sheds, which your dad said he used to work in and walk past every day, and then there's Oswin Grove where I lived. So there'll be lots of people in this town who've got connections to, or their ancestors would also. Yeah. I thought they're getting a souvenir as well as a piece of
I'll tell you what would be great actually. Like the Tate Gallery in London, they're just trying to reinvent it at the minute. And one of the things they've got there, they keep using like a lot of iconic 60s artwork, you know, to show people now, you know, a lot of teenagers are interested in art. Yeah. And one of the things they've got in there is a tower. It's like a tower of radios representing the buildings in London. But with your thing, LA, it'd be great if you had a tower, but with like stained glass, you know, from some of the great windows, some of the slate, some of the bricks, some of your artwork and all that, some old school books and all that. You could go on like that, and represent the whole thing. That'd be fantastic.
Yeah, it would, wouldn't it?
And maybe a stuffed teacher at the top, you know, like this statue.
Because I've got a friend that she paints her work on blackboards because they're from school, and the backs of these pictures are done on blackboard paint. And she paints things on old school rulers, but yeah, towers are things, definitely.
Yeah, actually, there's a shop in Richmond. I've got one of the old art easels from there, you know. They're from like the 1950s or 60s, you know, the really big heavy ones like that. I should have brought that along, you know, we could, even just like, you know, this is the way into the exhibition, something like that would have been great, you know.
Yeah, definitely. Right, do you have a favourite artwork and why?
No, I couldn't. If I was lucky enough to buy one or get given one or something, and someone said, just pick your favourite, I couldn't really. There is some really good stuff here.
Being at the school, you've got that many memories, so bits of it are different memories, and I think the whole collection together probably works as like an experience, doesn't it?
I'm still drawn to the one I'm looking just over your shoulder over there, It's just got so many layers, you know, and that image could be used for anything. It could be a book cover. In fact, it looks like an old book cover from this angle, you know.
I've used it for my business cards, and actually, saying that, I've sold some greeting cards, and the image with that one has sold the most.
Yeah, so I could just imagine that as well, as like a Victorian, you know, greetings card, you know, welcome to Richmond,
Yeah.
This lovely land and blah blah blah, you know, and the one next to it as well, yeah.
Would you attend an exhibition of this nature again?
Definitely, yeah.
Do you have any further comments or questions?
If I sit down and think about it, you know, one day down by the river, I'll probably come back to it, you know, it's like, there's certain things, what you cherish and all that, you know, this has been one of them recently, you know, it's something about Richmond, not something trivial, it's something what lots and lots of people can relate to. Probably even a lot of people who've moved away from the area, you know, they like to reminisce about Richmond and something what the whole do, you know. Oh, I love that, I went there, or, you know, my auntie went there, I remember when my son was born, he first went there when it was a grammar school, blah blah blah. And as I said before, you know, I just think we've captured something brilliant. There's not that many places in Richmond what people feel that strongly about. Probably the castle, you know, Greyfriars over the road from where we sat.
It's like a passage passage, isn't it, going up to high school, and that's your first experience.
I think maybe you should do some more, you know, we've just have a real think about, you know, what people endear themselves to around Richmond, you know. Yeah, even the fields and that around Richmond.
Yeah, I'm thinking of doing ones on landscape, and I'm going to do an exhibition called Exquisite Embers in November. Hopefully if I can find a venue which is going to be more broadly based on Richmond. And I've started making some work for that, so...
But venues and that, just the best thing to do is just create venues. You know, like most people love art, you know, or they've got whoever they are, whether they're electricians, that's what's so great about it, or, you know, unemployed, or whether they work in a tax office. Most people have got an appreciation of art.
Everyone's got an opinion, haven't they?
But art is so diverse. So what you've got to do, Caroline, as an artist, is tap into what means a lot to them, you know.
Yeah.
And that's the hard part. It's easy for me to say it. It'd be like you said to me, poetry, you know, everyone has poetry. They do. But it's like, you've got to do stuff that appeals to people. That's the hard bit, you know.
It always does. It's interesting, you keep people, it's like theatrical, and you're drawing people in, you keep people interested, and it's not just humdrum, and that's what you've got to do. You've got to do something different, haven't you? Avant-garde. So, right, have you got? Please describe your thoughts and feelings about the exhibition as a whole. Last question.
Thoughts and feelings as a whole. As I say, okay then, as a whole, the venue, I felt, for your sake, I felt artistically frustrated because the rooms are small. I don't think it was the right place to, you know, it's great the Georgian fee to let people do that. I'm just trying to think where I'd have liked to see these. Actually, I'll tell you what would have been a great venue. You know the middle hall in Richmond Castle? That old banqueting hall?
Yeah.
If they were just hung on there, or even on that lovely stonework, going up the spiral stairs and all that. Even the really dark one, or down in the dungeons, you know.
Yeah.
And maybe I had to lean over and look at them. That'd have been fantastic. You know, but it takes so much hard work.
Yeah,
you'd have to write about 47,000 letters, you know, to National Heritage to use that. You know, as a whole, the exhibition, getting back to what you're trying to do, I think you've achieved it. You know, placing an image, a set of images at a point in time which local people can relate to, as well as that, they're beautiful to look at, you know, which art doesn't have to be like that.
No.
You know? It can be challenging in a million different ways, but they are, you know, aesthetically pleasing to the eyes. Even the brickwork, if I had a big house with space to put them there so they could be appreciated, so you could wander around at your leisure and look at them, I'd do it, you know. Or if they were outside a building somewhere, you know, a market square, you know, for tourists to look at, that'd be great. So I'd like to think and I hope you've been happy with what you've achieved. You know.
Yeah,
the work itself certainly stands up. The venue is subjective. You know, we're living in a small town. There's not that many venues.
No, there was the station, but they've got a big exhibition on themselves, and I thought that would have fitted into the historical narrative like this building does. But the thing with this place is, wherever you're coming from Richmond, the likelihood of you passing this is quite high, and you can see the artwork walking past them from the road, and it's got a lot of footfall, so I thought that's positive. Plus it's a theatre, so people are coming in here for another reason, not just an art gallery. So.
I was going to ask you actually, are you going to do, if you had like a film, you know, of some of your pictures and that, you know, or the process doing it, you know, could make that into a whole little film and to tie along with it as well, you know.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, that'd be a good idea.
But I still like the idea of doing down the caves.
Yeah.
I think that's genius, I don't know where that came from.
Yeah.
You know.
With candles, because it's funny you should say that, you know, that door that was in the library, when you open that up, that's like a cave, and there's pieces like out in the wall where you can put candles, like little shelves.
Or I'll tell you where it'd be another good venue, now that I think about it. Do you know St Teresa's Hospice for people?
Oh yeah, because that's quite cavernous, isn't
right.
it?
When you go through the back there, that leads all the way to the obelisk in the centre of town. You can go right through, yeah. But when you go inside, they've got like old shelves. You could have like a picture on each one with a candle beside it, you know.
Yeah, that'd be good for you to do poetry walking through.
I'd love it. I've been down there once when they were doing some work on it, and I had to beg the woman to say, oh, like, you know, health and safety. I said, look, there's only me and you here. And I went along for about 30 or 40 foot. It's scary, actually. But yeah, that'd be brilliant.
Yeah, I didn't realise
I
that.
don't know what condition they're in, though. You know, you might touch the walls, I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Oh.
I've got a question for you. Has the Georgian Theatre been happy with your exhibition?
Yeah.
Have you had any feedback on it?
Yeah, I've had a sales and a commission, and yeah, they like the work. A lot of the staff like the work, so I'm really pleased with it because they'll see a lot of work coming in and out. Plus, a lot of them are artists themselves in acting or whatever.
I'll tell you where is a really good space. What have got big, massive walls, and they'd probably love to have you up there. The Baltic. At Newcastle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love going there.
Oh,
Usually
like
when
the
I've got my
Baltic.
jacket and I've got a little badge on representing, so that is a fantastic building.
Yeah, I've been there, so
Baltic,
Redwood Keenholz's worked there. So.
But yeah, something like that, what I'm saying is, because they're pretty small images, but then to have maybe just a couple on one wall, you're drawn into them like that, aren't you? Just be a lot more, dramatic. And I like the fact, if you're in a lot of the big galleries in London, they've got little seats there, and you could just sit there like for an hour. And when you first look at the image, after about half an hour, you thought a million different things about it, which is what the artists want you to do, isn't it?
Yeah.
They do it for, you do an image because you've got all these ideas what you're trying to portray, and then when you do it, someone might walk in and they'll see something totally different, or it means something a million miles removed from what you first done,
Yeah.
So I keep going back to that picture there, you might have a little kid come in and Mammy, that looks like that book you got me, like some science fiction thing, like they're in Game of Thrones or whatever, it reminds me of such and such.
Yeah.
And you're thinking, that's not what it was meant to be, but that's what art's about, isn't it?
Yeah, because the skill group came in and the pieces downstairs with the words on, they thought they were done out of newspaper, and it was interesting because they were about 14, 15-year-olds, and it's interesting to see how different age groups react to things.
But yeah, you should do a million different things, They almost look like, I'll tell you what, actually, I don't know if I never mentioned this in any questions about what I thought about the art there, but one of the things I didn't say, they'd be great as like pieces of metal work or copper work as well, they look like they've been hammered out of copper as well,
Yeah.
Like copper plating, that's what I'm saying,
Yeah, they do actually a lot of the tones in there.
Down Dundas Street, there used to be an